Cost analysis of yam farming in sacks and the expected revenue. Yam farming, especially done in sack, has some certain requirements such as materials which are needed. So the first material you should have should be a hoe or a shovel, very needed. Next thing, you should have sacks or bags that you're going to put them. Then you mix your soil with fertilizers or manure. Take notes of all these procedures I've given you because we are doing the step by step. Once you see your bag, either it's a bag of cement or a bag that you just finish your rice or feed, whatsoever bag you can find. Yeah, there is no standard for bags. Your bag, your shovel, and the ground in which you're going to be putting. Note that there are some certain things also you must do with your bag. So sit down, do not go anywhere. Let's analyze this together. And for those who are just joining in with us, please click on the subscribe button, like, share, and comment your experience. When you're at a certain stage of this, ensure that you don't fill the bags at a particular spot, but make sure you're able to fill at some certain point, then transport it to the fixed or standard location that bag is going to be remaining for the next 9 months or 1 year. It depends on the type of yam you're going in for. So the types of manure that you can mix your ground with, we have green manure, we have farmyard manure, and lastly we have compost manure. In this video I will going to take step by step which of this manure is good for you and how you could have them, how you could achieve them. Some are there's zero cost. You must not buy, zero cost. You must not go to the market to increase costs which are not necessary. Just beside your house, behind your house, at your friend's place, you could find all these necessary manure. The first is green manure. These are quick growing plants which, when buried, decay very quickly to provide plants food. Yeah, this could be vegetables, anything that could just grow fast, decay, and you turn it right now, you turn into your soil, and you just turn into manure. But this is mostly good for those who don't do practice yam farming in sacks. If you're doing yam farming in which you're going in for farm, that one is good. But farm yard manure, the second, they include animal droppings like cow dung. How many of you like cow dung? It's very rich manure. It is the highest, but you still have those from poultry, which has proven over time that they are the best forms of manure. Once your sack has been placed at a particular position, you know that you need to fill in the sacks. Yes, with your hoe, your shovel. The next is compost manure. Material added to the soil like a pile of plants or animal remains and allowing it to decay. Do you see this? I advise everyone to go in for compost manure. Those animal remain, those plants remain. Maybe you peeled your yam, maybe your cocoyam, you just want somewhere to put it. Yeah, this is the type of manure to go in for. Compost manure when practicing this in sacks. Remember, you could do it at your backyard. Even if you're renting in a particular location where it's not your house, you could do it in sacks. Once you harvest, you dispose of them. It's not like you're dirtying the place. It's one of the cleanest and the sure form of farming. So take your time as you are filling this bag, you're seeing the way it's filling. Actually, in a little space, you could plant up to 100 bags. But for those having extremely large backyard, you could go even for 500 bags that you're going to fill them up with ground after you must have mixed them with manure. Why do we mix them with manure? One of the main reasons we mix them with manure is simply to increase productivity increase yield, increase output, our expected revenue. If you're planting just for consumption, obviously the larger the yams, the more it'll stay. But if you don't have the right manure for it, you might just plant it, and before you know it, it's already there. So these are old yams we planted, and very soon we'll be harvesting. So it looks like like this. Come on, that's how it looks like when it's growing up. You could plant sticks there to redirect it, so that it should just be creeping and all that. Just make it tidy for those who are renting and want to go into this. This is one of the cheapest. Why? You don't need to rent a land. There is no renting, leasing, buying a land. No. Just where you are living beside the house, gathering 5, 6, 8, 10 bags, even 100. The quantity you can take, you can just fill in your ground after you must have mixed them with your compost manure, and after which you'll be ready for planting. Are you still with me? So if you are still in this video, I'll still say please share this video to your loved ones. Those who really want to enter into farming have been having challenges, what to do, what not to do, what are the necessary steps, is there a right moment or there's not the right moment. This is the time, just share it to them for them to have a good knowledge of it, because yam is one of the highest food in Nigeria. So let's go to the propagation of seeds. We have the full seedings, and we also have the section of tubers. So there are two different ways. I know that ashes from fire is a necessity, even if you don't cook with fire. So the cost of yam seeds, this is where it gets better, is extremely expensive. Let nobody fool you that yam seedlings are cheap. You could get them for $2, $5, $10. No, it is not cheap. It's one of the most expensive crops to plant. And the expensiveness is not even the manner of planting, no, it's just the seeds. The seeds are highly expensive. So a 50 kilogram of bag of seed costs $35 and more. So the cheapest 50 kilograms of seedlings you can have for yams is at least $35, not below. So if you're going in, so that was it. This is actually the section of seedling. You just get to measure it. You measure your seed and you cut them into sizes. Make sure the sizes are well equilibrium. They should be in order. And also you could cut them in many half, as many as possible. There is no limitations to it. It depends on the quantity, because this also help minimize cost. If you see the head of this yam is already showing signs that you want to sprout out, and it will be very fertile, I can't just imagine. So you see the end result. You see the end result. As I said, it's a complete guide. So from the beginning right up to the end, you see a full and complete guide on it. So once you have cut it in these round shapes, you now divide it into four. Divide it into four. Do not be in a rush. Just take out time, cut them into various forms. So let's go now to planting. What happens during planting? Remember, you're planting very shallow. Why do we plant yams in a shallow form? So that it could really sprung out, especially when you have kept it for about 2 weeks for it to germinate before planting. You could keep it for 2-3 weeks for it to germinate. Likewise, you could just propagate your yam, cut it into sizes, and you put the wood ash. If you don't have it, those who cook with the fireside, with the 3 stone fireside, you could reach out to them and just take the wood ash. It's very easy. It's very easy to have. It's not that difficult. So you plant it very shallow. very, very shallow. Why do we plant it very shallow? Such that as it's growing up, the yam is entering on the back. Do you see how long this back is? That's how our yams ought to be long. So there's no joke about it. The way they say, as you lay your bed, so shall you lie on it. If you place your yam too deep, it might face challenges in growing up, and it might hinder growth, and hindering growth limits productivity, yields, and the expected revenue that you want to have from this farm. So you're not just so shout out to Dangote Cement. At least, if not for it, what bags we would have been using? With this is very affordable. You go to construction site, you're able to have them. If you beg them or you're to buy them, it will not cost up to $1. You can even have 5 or 6 per dollar. So it's not that expensive. So if you're going in for yam farming, $100, you could do 100 bags. Because if you're propagating and cutting them into sizes, applying wood ash, it'll be good. Or if you're doing the full yam, of which you're not cutting into several pieces, it's still good. In whatsoever form you want to do, note that it is good. Are you seeing the old ones? These ones have been there for a while and we are adding. There is no season for yam. All seasons are seasons, but rainy seasons are the most preferable periods for yam planting, especially March, April, May. March, April, May. I believe you want to start eating maybe during Christmas. Yeah, during Christmas, you might want to see. So don't go anywhere. Before we end this video, you're going to see the harvest in it. Come on, you're going to see the harvest, and I'm going to gist you the amounts made from meat. You don't want to miss. You see, now this is where we talk about the compost manure. You see, when we put the leaves and the plants, such that it limits that the animals or birds will not come and disrupt the growth of this yam. So ensure to always put leaves around, dry leaves, fresh leaves, anything that will compose, but it just comes to hinder it. You might just apply water there for it to really germinate fast, but it's not a necessity. This was done here because the ground was really, really dry. Yes, the ground that we dug was really, really dry. And planting of yam in a very, very dry soil could also hinder growth because yam needs water, they need nutrients. And when everywhere is dry, it becomes
Yeah, how many
difficult for
stand do we
they
have
to
here?
obtain that
One, two,
nutrient.
three,
So
four,
you could
five,
just
six,
pour a
seven,
drop of
eight,
water such
nine.
that it should be
With this
green,
one,
obviously.
that is
Everything should be. See,
19,
see the sacks at the end of the
19
day.
back,
Just see.
19
See the
stand here.
sacks.
This
So
small
no matter
space.
how small your
So the essence
space
is
is,
the thing just
no
cuts to
matter how
minimize space
small
for
your
you.
space is, you could just
Just
put
imagine.
them here and you find
Very
leaves.
simple.
This is rainy season, there are leaves everywhere. If you don't have leaves, you could just find plant manure, plants or animal manure, and you just apply it up just to drive
Hold
away
on.
insects or some type of things or want to eat your yam. That one, when it decompose, it makes it very good for the yam. So let's just go to our harvest. This is 6 months time. Are you ready? Come on, see the way we are tearing the sacks. Look at how one yam is. So spending $100, one yam does not cost less than $2. Let no bother deceive you. A single yam as long as this year does not cost less than $2. It can even go $2 to $5. That's how expensive yam is. In Africa, we eat yam, but in some places, in some cities, in some town, people eat yams only during festive period like Easter today or like Christmas, New Year. That's when they have the opportunity due to how expensive it is. So it's not just a common crop, but it's a high value crop. That's why I'm letting you know that. So keep watching right up to the end. When I will analyze the cost of this yam, how much I was able to sell the yam, and the expected profit I had, and how it was helpful for me, and how you yourself you could start it. Because come on, look at this yam, come on, look at it. I'm just calculating that this might be just $10. Yeah, amazing, right? It just has its own way. Harvest is always the best season for farmers. Let nobody deceive you. The joy that comes with harvest, only God can define. After sweating, putting out hard work, or maybe begging a place just to put the yam, and you just open, this is it. This is it. Oh, only God knows the joy that comes with it. So it's really beautiful, it's really nice, and look at what you have here. So during the time of harvest, you just need to tear up your sacks, tear up the sacks, and these are the yams, which are the yam will just grow, and you could select and sell. Likewise, you could just consume all. Come on, are you Goliath to consume all this yam? You're probably going to sell. Come on, sell this yam, sell it. So I'm grateful for all those who are still here. I'm grateful. So the sales of this yam went right up to about $5,000. So just seeing, taking it to the local market, the buyers were already there waiting to buy and take it to resell in big cities. Do not start your farming in a town, or go to the villages, go to the suburbs where lands are cheap, or where you could easily bake and plant it. So I'm grateful for all those who have been here watching, subscribing, liking, and viewing this video. Please share this video so that others could learn. People might want to plant yam, but the thing is too expensive, but guide them through. Thank you for watching. Until then, it's been Finance Magdalene. Thank you for patronizing.